just something got to change. You know what I mean? A lot got to change. But it's like
Right.
now there's like when it comes to changing lives, I got to be a part of it for the better, of course. I got to be a part of it. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't do it for no recognition. I do it because I care. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes the difference between people like yourself and people like me. Like just the care factor. When you care,
Mm-hmm.
you move different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about the money. It's about changing lives. It's about life,
Mm.
legacy.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Life and legacy. Life and legacy.
Life and legacy. That might be a song name.
Life and legacy, changing lives, man. Sippin' with Sakari. And we live, baby.
Bling blow.
Whoo,
Hey, hey,
Moshe, man.
it's
Yo,
your boy.
yo, man. Thank you so much for joining me, man, on another episode of Sipping with Sakari, man. You know, right now we sipping on some tea. What you sipping on, bro?
Sour sap.
Oh, okay, that's healthy.
Yeah, it's a sour sap beverage. You know what I mean? I believe this is from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know of it. It's healthy. It's supposed to. It's like anti-cancer. Like it's good
Mm,
vibes.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Jamaica, we got the sour sap, but
Mm-hmm.
this company specifically, I think they produced it in Mexico or something.
Okay. 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 So I was thinking about an intro, right, for Moshe,
Mhm.
and yo, you have so many titles. It's crazy. Like
A little bit.
you're a graphic designer,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
You're an artist. You're
Yeah.
a rapper. You're owner of Peace and Parmesan.
Mm.
You're a home cook,
Yeah.
like brother and friend,
You know
like
that.
just a good human being. Like there's just so many titles, man. Like you just it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. So welcome. Welcome, man. Welcome, man. So tell me about a little bit of context for those people that don't know who you are, where you from, and things like that. Like, do a little introduction, man. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. Moshe. People call me Mo. Um, New York City, graphic designer, from
Mm,
the Bronx. But
Bronx,
I
okay, the
say,
boogie down.
yeah, from the boogie down. But I say New York City because it's just a little piece of everything, every borough. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Within the upbringing of coming from New York.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm like you said, I got my hands in a lot of things. You know what I mean? I've always been that way since I was little. Um,
Okay.
did culinary, in Delhi. That's how me and you met.
For
And I
sure.
guess that could be another episode for another time. You know what I mean? Because it's like get into the history, like we knew of each other, but we wasn't really like close.
Close,
You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of mutual friends,
Yeah.
the Karans,
Shout out to Karan.
everybody in that space, you
For
know what I
sure.
mean? The Bossiers within the culinary bubble,
Yep.
the
Yep.
Parises. But it wasn't until like later throughout the years when I graduated when we got close. So it's funny how
Mm.
life worked.
It's
Um,
crazy.
Super crazy. But then, after Delhi, I went to University of Buffalo. That's when I
Mm-hmm.
actually started studying graphic design, getting in tune with it, and it was one of the greatest decisions I ever made.
Mm.
That route
Why so? Why was it one of the greatest decisions you ever made?
because of the timing.
Okay.
Um, Mind you, we talking about 2015 when I went over there, and
Mm-hmm.
originally I got accepted to the business program,
Okay.
and I changed my major a couple times before I actually got accepted to the art program. Before I applied for the art program and got accepted, and
Okay.
I was at that point I was just like really thinking. I had that summertime to really think about like what I wanted to do next because I know I wanted to expand or branch off from culinary. I wanted to keep
Mm-hmm.
it close, but career wise, I wasn't trying to do that. So
Okay.
career wise, artists made sense, but at that time, and even still now, being an artist can be financially risky. But because of
Mm-hmm.
today's climate, you know, the NFT world, the digital world, the metaverse world, um, just the advance of technology, graphic designers or artists slash artists are necessary. You know, a lot of people start
Mm,
businesses, a lot of people need logos, a lot of people need a brand identity. And
mm,
those are things that my role is being called on, you know.
mm.
So timing wise, I didn't know, you know, I didn't really know nothing about it. I just know I wanted to make art. So
Okay.
really just being true to what I wanted to do, despite the idea of it being financially risky. I just know I wanted to do that. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
man.
it started off, if I'm hearing you correctly, like it started off you just loving art, and then now it's been a great decision because of the timing and everything that's happening now in this ecosystem.
Right,
You just did it for the love of it.
right.
Like, is that what it is? So
100%.
so speak a little bit about, I guess, how your upbringing tied into that, right? So
Mm.
like, what made you say, okay, or what was it that inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to go to culinary school and then I'm going to transfer into an artist? Because at the end of the day, culinary school, like being cooks and chefs, right? Like myself, like it's part of an art. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's putting different ingredients together. You do the same thing with colors that you were doing when you were cooking. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So speak a little bit about your upbringing and how did this come about in a sense? What inspired it?
Um, catered to that question. My mom was always like a little more strict out of the two parents. You know, my dad was more like laid back. I guess that's where I get a lot of my steadiness from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my mom was like always the one like they didn't want to let me go outside too much. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like junior high school years, you know what I mean? But it wasn't until I get into sports I really started going outside and being outside more. Um, but more on my aspect of my dad, I remember him telling me one day, like, listen, I don't want you to grow up and you ever felt that I hindered you from becoming something you wanted to be. You know, so
Mm,
having a strict mom, but then having a dad who was just like all about me doing what I wanted to do, it was
mm-hmm.
a good balance. Because at the foundation was discipline. You know what I mean? So at a certain point, even my mom, when I was venturing out and I was spending more hours in the street, um, my mom knew she had to set a good foundation to where I wasn't gonna go too crazy.
Right.
Um, but my dad, I had enough freedom to know that my dad, you know, it's almost like not disappointing your parents, you know, to where it's
For
like
sure.
I had enough leeway with my dad to where it's like,
You didn't want to let them down.
yeah, you don't want to let him down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I cared to not let him down. So,
100%.
you know, I say that to say I was I was in this space to where it was okay for me to do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And I never seen myself sitting at a desk. Like when I think about work, like growing, and this is growing up, like mind you, this is not 20s, this is not really teens. Like
yeah.
this is at a time where you're not really thinking about careers, but you just see it on TV. You think about, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. You know what I mean? So it's like I never seen myself like working at a desk or like coming out of work during rush hour. You know what I mean? Like I just never
Yeah.
see myself being that. But I was always a hands-on person. I always like Legos growing up. I was always drawing. I thought I wanted to be an illustrator growing up because I'll always be drawing. And so I knew I was always in the arts, but I knew I wanted to be hands-on for sure.
Okay.
Um, so when I was playing basketball, I had the opportunity, you know, to go to Delhi, and I seen culinary was a major. So I'm like, yo, you know, I'm gonna try this out. I don't mind cooking. Do 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 do. So I tried that route, and I appreciate the route, and especially the people who I met, like Chef Margiata, Chef Pearson. You know what I mean, the OGs. Um, but working in fine dining, working in um, these different spaces, like the cafeteria spaces, like I knew it was cool, but it was cool on my time. It wasn't cool career wise for me. You know, and that's when they later transitioned going back into the arts.
So so you spoke a little bit about, your upbringing with your mom and your dad and how you respected them and how like your pops gave you a little bit of leeway, right? Um, so people that don't know you on a personal level, like maybe I do, right? You're one of the most selfless human beings that I've ever encountered, I ever met,
Appreciate it.
period. Right. Like if it's a direct quote, if I might say that, you call Peace and Parmesan, which is your clothing brand, the brand for the people, or it's for the people. It's like everybody owns it, right? So when when did you get this like selfless into Tuity, like how did it come about? Was it your parents that helped you become this person? Was it maybe teenagers or a brother figure that maybe you encountered? Was it like the struggles that maybe you grew up? Like, how did you become Moshe Douglas on a human being level? Because I think
Yeah.
that's such an important aspect of you that I don't want to be overlooked.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. So really my upbringing, my parents, the people who raised me, you know what I mean? The community of people. So for those who don't know, I consider myself a Hebrew, you know, slash Black Jew, slash Israelite, however you want to identify it as, the people of the Bible, you know what I mean? And the book, the Torah, you know, it has a set of laws, statutes, and commandments, and it has a guide list, and it's basically a moral code book. So within this, you have laws that help communities or help govern communities, and it's I'm sure you're aware of the Ten Commandments. Let's take that at its simplest form. The Ten Commandments, you have things like don't steal, don't lie, you know what I mean? Don't covet your neighbor, which is like don't look at somebody's stuff and be like, yo, I want that. And you know, because you get other thoughts. So having that foundation was in me from my youth. And you know, the root of it all, the glue of it all that helps you or helps me keep it together is the fear of God. You know, is something that says a passage that says fear God and keep his commandments, but that's the whole duty of man. You know, when you fear God, almost like the with the aspect with my father, he gave me enough leeway, but I didn't never want to let him down. So when you fear God, it's not that, oh, I can't do nothing, God's gonna kill me. It's more like, God, you allow me to live in this world and you give me access to so much. But I know if I steal from this man, something's gonna happen to me. Or if I know I think about murdering this person, something's gonna happen to me. Therefore, it's almost like the karma. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I just got love for people. And what I get in return, love. You feel me? I just want to get peace for people. And what I get in return, peace. So it's almost like creating this reality of what you want to see in this world. You know what I mean? Like the Gandhi quote, be the world, be the change you want to see in the world. So basically that's how I live my life. Like I can't do nothing bad because I don't want a bad life. You feel me? The recipe is pretty simple, you
Okay.
know. And I just really be trying to be the change that I want to see in this world.
That's powerful, Mo. That's powerful, man. And you know, that was one of the reasons that gravitated approaching you with this opportunity to build Noble Promise Studios, right, together. Because I think that's a noble act,
Mm.
right? I think you're a noble human being, and people don't know the definition of noble, right? But like these characteristics, right? Humanity, like empathy, right? Like kindness, selflessness, like these are all characteristics of being a noble human being.
Right.
And that was, besides your talent, that was one of the main reasons that I was like, Mo has to, he has to be a part of this, man, somehow, some way, man. And I'm so glad that you are, man. So you had this upbringing, you're the selfless person, right? You're this dope person, human being. You go to culinary school, you realize, okay, it's not for me, right? You go to Buffalo, right? Which you have a community up there, people that support you, right? You have friends and family up there, right? And you become a graphic designer. Um, Speak about, I guess, the transition from Buffalo, the support and community that you have up there, and I guess in between all that, you also launched Peace and Parmesan, right? So you were a graphic artist, but then you also had a fashion. You have a fashion clothing line, which I'm wearing right now. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, right? So crazy. So speak about that transition. You know, launching Peace and Parmesan, Buffalo having the support system, and that transition.
Yeah. So it's so funny because um I remember going to Buffalo and the campuses. For those who know Buffalo, the campuses is like huge. Obviously because I've been there for years now, you can navigate everything. But being there when I first got there, I was like, yo, I don't know how I'm maneuvering this new world, you know.
Right.
Um, and I remember calling my former teammate Matt, and I was like, yeah, give me by October, I'm gonna run this place. You know what I mean? At that time, I wasn't like Peace and Palm wasn't even a thought. You know, at that time, Peace and Parmesan wasn't a thing. That didn't happen till later in 2016, in the spring semester. I just had a conversation with my friend, like, yo, like I always just want to make a clothing brand. And he was like, why not? And those two words is what it just was like, it was like opened up a new library in my head. He's like, why not? You know what I mean? Like it was just new words that nobody ever said to me before, or it's like it was just like a new discovery. So it just made all the sense in the world. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know, and at the time I'm learning the programs, I'm learning the Adobe Suite. So I'm learning Photoshop, I'm learning Illustrator, and I'm learning how to make logos. So it's like I didn't have to go to somebody and be like, yo, I'm trying to, this is the vision I got. Like I was already inside the practice of it. So and even the logo, like when it just came to me like that, like the logo got revised, but like coming up with the concept and the name was like, I always say it's God given, like, because it didn't take too much thinking. It was just like, I think I want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, we're gonna do this. You feel me? So it was like a 1-2 process. And the support of Delhi was the foundation. That stepping stone was amazing because, you know, Delhi, when the year I left, it just turned from a 2-year to a 4-year program for some of the programs in the school. So I had a lot of people who still stayed. So when I created this, and this is around the time Brent Fires is coming out. So this when Dog came out, and you know that has is super popular, and and the most, I don't even know how to really call it, but I wouldn't call myself trendy, to be honest. Like keeping up with trends, but at that time I just thought dad hats was cool. I think dad hats is still cool, but at that time it was trendy. So came out with the dad hats, and then the logo was just like, it was just like boom, like it just caught eye and it caught fire really quick. And I was selling like hats off Snapchat. I don't even think I was selling them off Instagram. It was really just Snapchat and text, and people seeing them, they was like, yo, like this you? Like, and a lot of, because I don't put myself out there, like a lot of people, if you knew, you knew. You ain't really know who was behind it. You just knew these hats was around, you know. Then once the hat sold out, like I probably started off like 30. They sold out within like probably a week or two. And then I did it again, did shirts, and then I seen the potential and that people really wanted it. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, that's why it's a people's brain, because it's like it don't move unless the people want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people could think it's cool, but just because it's cool don't mean you want it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then later started graduating into like it had to be more purposeful. Like I couldn't just, because I just want to do designs. I don't even to this day see myself into fashion. I enjoy designs. I enjoy placements. You know what I mean? So that's why certain things like the quotes on the rib is there. You know what I mean? Like everything got its own significant piece to it and placement to it. So I'm more interested in placements, colors, like I said, overall design rather than fashion. But fashion is the outlet.
It's attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you put in these powerful quotes, man, that can inspire kids, children, grandmothers, grandfathers, whoever, on these places of clothing that you know everybody has to wear. Everybody wears a shirt. You know what I mean? And it's so powerful. You know, you spoke about trending. Like I don't think you're about being trendy. I think you're a trendsetter, because what you make, I've never seen before. I just think it's authentic. I think it's real. I think it's you, right? Yeah. So speak about, like, where do you get your inspiration for Peace and Parmesan? Like you just like is it NYC? Like with like, because there's a lot of NYC inspired stuff, right? But you're also going into home decor, right? You're doing pillows like we got in the background, right? You got car fresheners. Yeah. I mean, and it speaks to about why not, right? That mentality, that click, that shift where it's like, yo, why not, right? Why can't I be a rapper? Why can't I be a cook or a chef or an entrepreneur or a fashion designer or whatever graphic designer? Why not, right? So Peace and Parmesan, man, like mind blown. Where's it coming from, man?
So the inspiration is just living. Life is the inspiration for real. God is my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Really, like the
Yo, wait. Can we say
yeah.
that again? Yo, that was powerful. You said God is your what?
Yeah, God is my favorite artist. You know what I mean?
Oh my
God
God.
is my favorite artist, bro.
That's
Um, like
amazing.
when you take the time to really, like we gotta like you and people hear me talk about this, but when you really take the time to see what's around you, you know what I mean? To take the time to be aware of the blessings that's around you. You know what I'm saying? Like wake
Mm.
up in the morning, and I'm not talking about wake up 10 to get ready to work at 10:30. So you, you know what I'm saying? Only thing
Yeah,
is
yeah,
pillow and a toothbrush. I'm talking about waking up 5, 6 in the morning, looking
yeah.
outside, seeing the transitions from dark blue to
Mm.
purple to sky blue. You feel me? Like to see the color palettes that's around you, like we in New York City, you know what I mean? I spend a lot of time in Buffalo still, but to see what's around you, see the greens in the autumn season, you see the yellows with the greens and the oranges, you know what I mean? Like this is we living in a world that's living, you know what I mean? We living in a world that moves, we living in a world that inspire. And
Wow.
a lot of times we get caught up in concrete and metal, which is also a form of art, but
Mhm.
sometimes there's a blockage, you know what I mean? And that's why I think traveling is important because it also opens to inspirations, you know what I mean? To see certain color palettes, see certain people, because people's art also. The behaviors and characters as art, you know what I mean? That's where quotes come from, you know what I mean? Trees could talk, but trees never spoke English to me, you know what I mean? So to hear somebody say something or see somebody do something and be like, hmm, be a blessing to someone today. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up with these quotes or coming up with these concepts, um, and just sharing it with the world. Put it on a t-shirt and here you go. I got this from what life.
It's beautiful, man. Like you're
Straight
giving
up.
me chills, bro. Like if you can see the hairs just standing up on my like on my arm, man. You're
Yeah,
giving me chills, bro. It's
man.
it's it's amazing to hear your passion. It's amazing to hear how your mind works. Where my mind goes is like the same way that you look at colors, I look at food, right?
Mm,
And I understand how ingredients pair together and things like that. And that's what you do with colors from an artist perspective. And I think it's just incredible, man. Like
thank you.
last piece on Peace and Parmesan, what are your goals for the future? Are you happy with it? Like what are your goals? What do you want to do?
Um, yeah, I'm happy with it because like once again, it was a blessing, you know, and it's still a blessing. And this is something that I've watched people appreciate and I watch people hone it in and I've watched people look forward to it and I don't take for granted for things like when people say, yo, this is my favorite brand. You know, it's like, yeah, you may know me, but I've heard that from people who don't really know me. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think there's something really special within it, you know, and it's you getting more than just a shirt or you getting more than just a pair of sweatpants. You know, you getting a staple piece. You getting a conversation piece to where somebody might look at you and be like, yo, that's dope. I don't know what that is, but that's dope. What that say on it? Oh, this is fire. You made that? Nah, my man's made it. Da, da, da. You know what I mean? Like literally, like for yourself. I don't know how much times you probably wore a shirt and it was a conversation starter. You know what I
Of
mean? So
course.
to literally watch a piece of clothing allow you to gain an experience, it's like, bro, what? You
It's
know what I'm
insane.
saying?
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, like what does peace and parmesan mean? Like what does it mean?
Um, piece of man, I mean a bunch of things, but yeah, peace and parmesan in the simplest form is just, you know, peace, unity, love, you know what I mean? The coming together and Parmesan, you know, in New York or in the world in the United States, we got a slang to where you like get cheese or get money. You know what I'm saying? Parmesan is a form of cheese. So it's like it's the things that you need to survive. You know what I mean? Along with that, you know, Parmesan is a rich and sharp cheese. So under that is like be rich and sharp in the mind. So making good
Mm,
decisions, making good decisions sometimes entails money. So it's like it's like this looping effect of like, yo, do good, get money, be peaceful, and continue to move forward.
Now, Mo, you don't care about money. If I'm like, if I'm, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you care about what it brings to you, right? Like the
yeah,
utility of it. But
right.
like you don't come off as a person that's money hungry or greedy or anything like that, right? So would you say that you're trying to change the way that people look at money, about the utility of it? Because you're talking about Parmesan, the rich and sharpen the mind, like, but you're not a money hungry person. So like speak a
Yeah.
little bit about that. Like
It's
what are your
it's it's
views?
it's kind of sort of, and it's kind of sort of because like we in this world to where it's definitely a necessity. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But that's not my end all be all. Money is not the end all be all because we know money is not something that you can take with you when your time is over.
okay. So
You,
what is your end all be all?
the end all be all is have a good name.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Having a good name is better than great riches. You know what I mean? That's a
Jesus.
proverb. And don't, like, that's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Like, money is definitely a necessity because this is something that can help sustain. This is something you can
Mm-hmm.
have to bring down to your kids. So it's like you can't take it when you gone, but your kids can have it and
Mm,
used in a proper way, they can build things that's good for them. Because this is all about living. It's all about life. And if you want a good life, you need to understand what entails for you to have a good life. There's people
mm-hmm.
who don't subscribe to the idea of money that lives a fantastic life. And then you have people who do. You know what I mean? So it's just vice and versa. You know what I mean? But I care about a good name rather than money. For real, for real. You
Yeah.
know, my name could live on as a good person and it can inspire people. Think about like the Malcolm X's and, you know, the MLKs to where it's like people not thinking about their money when they think about them. You feel me? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
think
yeah.
about the impact that they left on this world, on this earth. So that's longevity. That could change the world.
Mm,
Yeah.
legacy.
Legacy. That's what it's about. Life
Legacy.
legacy.
Legacy, man. So yo, I see these dope, like crazy dope, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, art behind you. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is that? Speak about that.
Wow.
What's going on with that?
Bro, that's what we call it. That's that bling blah.
Woo!
Yeah, that's the you know, I'll be touching in the NFT world, and these are like the physical assets that I came along with them. Specifically, this is the Dexter Laboratory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The probably the first two people recognize is these right here. That's
Mm,
Dexter, that's Dee Dee, Mandoc, the mom, the dad. Um, and within this, it's the nostalgia collection, you know, and within this nostalgia collection, you have the Dexters, the Pokemons, the Sesame Streets. I was just going crazy in the Sesame Streets on, you know, say the Powerpuff Girls. So it's a lot of these old cartoon shows that I remember growing up that I really enjoyed. And it's like I wanted to come with this concept of like this is the best way I could put it. It's like seeing a yellow square with polka dots on it. You be like, yo, SpongeBob. Like it looks like SpongeBob. Well, don't want you remind you of SpongeBob? It was that concept to where I'm drawing the colors and the shapes that make up these characters, expanding them, enlarging them, and doing what I do to where it share the same composition in a way to where it's like this looks familiar. But unless it's
mm,
in a collection, then you be like, oh, this is ding ding ding.
mm-hmm.
You know, so it's this nostalgic feeling and just transporting it that feeling of familiarity.
You give your art gives a special feeling,
Hmm.
and it does something similar to what my goal for cooking is, right? So
Hmm.
when I cook, for me, I always say that the biggest compliment that someone can give me is like, yo, this reminds me of my grandmother's cooking,
Hmm.
or it brings them back to a certain moment in time, a memory.
Right.
When I look at your art, it brings someone back to a special moment in their time, and it could be something that maybe made them laugh. Maybe Dexter's Laboratory, in a sense, made them a happier child. Maybe a child was dealing with depression,
Hmm.
and they were laughing at this show, and this show means so much to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's
Right.
so powerful that this art collection can touch so many different people in different ways that you can't even imagine, that I can't even imagine.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You scuba diving right now, because I wasn't thinking that deep when I made that. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
touched the surface, because It be like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can remember getting out of school and tuning into Dexter Laboratory or Ed and Eddie, and remember your abuela, grandma making them peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
it may take you back in time, but like I said, I wasn't thinking that deep. So I'm glad you pointed that out because now it makes me think. It might make me think more intentional on, you know, just the composition of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
When expressing these characters. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
got their own unique,
Story
right.
tied to it,
You
connection
know,
to it.
right.
Yeah.
Now that you mention that, which I wasn't thinking about at all, um, I think it's gonna make me think a little different when creating these. I appreciate you for
it's
that.
it's yo, bro, man, it's so special because at surface level you might be like, oh, that's Dex. Okay, that's cool. For me, where my mind goes is my childhood was growing up on that type of stuff, right? Pokemon, Dexter Laboratory, all that type of stuff. I was a in-house type of child. I didn't go out like that. My parents were both strict, so they didn't even let me go out like that. So my childhood was spent in front of a television, which
Oh,
later on transitioned to me being in the kitchen. You understand what I'm saying? Because my grandmother, right? This is crazy, right? So like my grandmother would watch the cooking channel, right? But I wanted to watch, Pokemon, Dexter's Laboratory, whatever the case is. So when I spent time with my grandmother, we would have to share the TV, right? And I would watch these nostalgic television shows, right? That you grew up on, that I grew up on. And then I got introduced to the Food Network. And then my life changed forever. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how powerful this collection can go and how deep this can go that people aren't thinking about, man. And I really want to touch on that.
Yeah.
So you're a very humble dude, right? You're not new to this NFT space.
No.
So you made an NFT for Kobe Bryant's art piece, a Kobe Bryant art piece, right?
Yeah, it was a Kobe Bryant Hublot watch
Collaboration with Hublot watch.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the most amazing watches company in the world. No.
Yeah, one of them. Yep.
Well, definitely one of them, right? We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about a big brand here. So you created an NFT for them. And how much did that watch NFT collaboration collection, how much did it sell for, this one piece? With the watch?
It went for 1.2 million. But it's crazy. They was my friend
1.2 million.
shout out to GDGC. They tagged me along to the what should I say, to the project.
Yeah.
To the project. Diamante also a Delhi alumni.
Okay.
Delhi, they making a lot of good people.
Amazing.
Go to Delhi, you're gonna be great.
I second that. Love that.
For that too. But yeah, he tagged me along. Greg, Chris, and Diamante, they tagged me along to the project, and it was a fantastic idea. And with that physical asset they had, they wanted to put it into that metaverse, make it an NFT. And at the time, like, it's crazy because at the time I was already making these pieces. But I never had nothing posted yet. I was working in the dark. I'm just working, building my collection up. So when it was time for me to, start mining them, I had stuff. You know what I mean? So they tagged me along to the project, and it was phenomenal. You know what I mean? We had one of the top public relations person in the city on our side, to get us a lot of press. Yeah. So
what did you learn from that process?
Man, you don't never know who watching. Yeah, that's what I learned in that process. But that whole space, and as we know, it's still fairly new.
For those real quick, for those that don't know, what is an NFT? Just short, real quick, like something simple, like a simplified way to understand.
Man, the simplest form I could tell you is a digital asset. If you don't know what an asset is, it's basically it's something that helps produce money, if you will.
Grows, right.
Something like art will be considered an asset, something like home.
It appreciates over time and things like that, right?
Something that appreciates over time. So
and it's digital. So it's stored on the blockchain, right? There's a record of it.
Right, yeah. Now you deep diving now. You
Yeah,
deep
little deep dive,
diving.
little deep diving. I just want, so
But
it's
yeah,
digital. It's
yeah,
digital.
it's a digital artwork that's protected, and there's still even mixed feelings with me because I appreciate physical assets. It's something about just
Mm,
physical things. It's something about actually flipping through the page of a book rather than an ebook on a tablet.
right.
It's something like holding a frame rather than
Mm,
seeing a picture on Google. You know what I mean?
right, right,
Those
right, right.
things that I enjoy as an artist. Um, but it is a very lucrative space. It is a very valuable space, and it's going to the moon.
So to the moon.
To
So
the moon.
so to touch on that real quick, because you love the feeling of holding it physical, you're on the project that we're working on together, you're gonna actually be sending these art pieces,
100,
signed by you, made by you, right?
right?
Out of a certain number, whatever the case is, limited edition, basically, right? Collectible item, right? And it's gonna be sent to everyone for them to have a physical piece of this.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You feel me?
This is crazy.
Give me
It's
one. Yeah, because it's like I still like I s- as an artist, I still gotta instill my values somewhere in the piece. Just
mm,
like piece of Parmesan concept. Like I'm gonna write a quote that I feel. You know what I mean? It's gonna be personal to me, but it's also gonna be shared with the world. It's something that you could relate to. So I'm gonna treat this NFT project as the same thing. Like you're gonna get the digital asset, but because I appreciate the physical, you're gonna get this physical too. And I hope
mhm.
you enjoy it as much as I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's man, that's special, man. That's
Yeah, man.
ooh,
Yeah, this a part of
man.
the Pokemon collection. And you're gonna see like a little glare on it. You
Uh-huh.
feel me?
Right, right, right.
You seeing the glare. This is on some nice metallic paper, metallic gloss paper, um, with the nice
Quality.
hard
You're not
work.
just sending, no, you went to the dollar store and you got it. No, no, no.
Nah,
You're sending quality.
yeah, I'm selling that ooh wah. I'm selling that ooh wee.
Ooh, so special paper, special wood frame, signed by you
Yeah,
out of a certain number. So it
yeah,
has rarity, it
right,
has nostalgic factor that makes you feel it. You get to own it. And it's of quality that upholds and lasts for years to come.
right. And it's once again, it's going to be a conversation piece. Everybody's
Mhm.
not going to want to whip out their open seas and show them what to collect your collections. You feel me? Somebody
Right.
may be in the house sipping on some tea, and you're gonna be like, "Yo, that look like Pikachu." Like,
Yeah.
where you get that from?
What is that? Yeah. What is
You
that?
feel me? Now that's a conversation.
Parmesan. What is that? Yeah, it's the same
You know what
thing.
I'm saying? It's a
It's
conversation, bro.
it's incredible, man. So real quick, man, I wanna touch on, you had an amazing experience. The NFT and the watch sold for $1.2 million,
Yes.
but your life didn't change that much. Am I correct?
Not as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking around like I don't, no,
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean? My life didn't change. Why is that? Because there was so many different hands in the jar, the cookie jar. Would you?
Yeah, because the person who his name is German, the person who actually owned the physical assets, you know what I mean? He get the
Yeah,
biggest chunk. It's his.
right,
I mean, as someone like
right,
myself who got tagged along to the process, how can I get the biggest piece of the cake?
right,
I'm saying, plus
right,
the
right, right.
partners, we partner with Wise Art, Wise Key. They're a huge platform out in Europe. You know what I mean? They
Hmm.
they cake too. So it's like, um, it was a good opportunity though. You know what I mean? Because like I
Of
said, you don't
course,
even know who's watching. This is
of course.
this is the opportunity that got my name on Sports Illustrator, routers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and that's all I need. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, just when
Because you,
things start progressing and you check
hmm
the history, you check the timeline, you check the facts, the value gonna build itself. I ain't just come out of nowhere.
because you're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win regardless.
Right? You know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean? It's just part of the process, part of the
Yeah.
journey. So you didn't get discouraged or upset or anything when you got this piece or whatever the case is. You look at it as this is part of the journey. I love the process of it. I'm gonna keep building and growing as an artist.
100%.
Okay. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Nah, it's amazing. And this is once again like it takes some learning to understand that in life. You know, and there's a lot of amazing books that help gear proper thought and how to operate. And that's why I appreciate you so much, because and correct me if I'm wrong, as a fan of Gary Vee, you know, there's a lot of things that Gary Vee himself content and within his character that he follows that I will follow. There's certain just universal rules that make up a person who operates in a certain manner. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to be like surface level without getting too deep. But I see you reflect those certain things. That's why I'm so comfortable with you, because there's certain things within you that I see you share these same things. You know what I'm saying? And
100%.
When you understand that you got to fight for the things that you want and keep your eyes parallel to your goals, no matter what's going on, that's something that you follow. That's something I appreciate. Like, we done talked the other day, and I said the story you told me, and I'm like, bro, I'm glad you said what you said to Adam and not what somebody else who was thinking and what their emotions would have said.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
There's gonna be people who are gonna be lost because like, what are you talking about? But like, we know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we know.
What I mean, there's a certain universal rule that you're gonna get tested, and when you get tested, don't think how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't think with your feelings, and don't be mad or upset because you feel this way and you feel like you owe this much. And you feel me? It's not about that. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize, because it's like crossing the bridge and then somebody throw a rock at you. The bridge is about to break. Somebody throw a rock and you're like, yo, fight me. Yo, you're still on the bridge and you got to get to the other side, but you're not stuck on the bridge and you didn't get from point A to point B. Now you created this whole new mission and you forgot about getting to the other side. You feel what I'm saying? So it's more like, you're going to get hit with these rocks. Somebody might throw fire at you. Somebody might throw water at you. The wind might blow. You may need to hold on and just be on pause for real quick. But you know what I mean? The end goal is, yo, I still need to get there. I don't want to care what's going on. I need to get there. And a month,
not letting
year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, how bad you want it. You feel me? That's what it is.
You're not gonna let anything hold you back or stop you from continuing on. You're just gonna keep moving forward. So, that's amazing. And that's one of the things that Noble Promise Studios is trying to fix for artists. Right. So you spoke a little bit about Gary, and it's interesting that you made that point of why I guess I get drawn to Gary, I guess, because of his human characteristics. Same thing with you, right? Just good human people. Right. Not trying to quote unquote scam you or flip you or whatever the case is, just being good, noble people, right? And Noble Promise Studios is basically about putting the artist first, right? We're not capitalizing and having you take off a small portion as the artist, but rather we're teaching you how to build your brand. We're teaching you about marketing. We're teaching you about putting yourself out there, and we give you the creative control in order to do that. Right? So you're putting this collection out, and you get to reap all the benefits as a team member of what we're doing. And then for years to come, you get to teach other people about how to do it as well. You can bring in your friends, you can bring in your family members, and you can welcome these people that may have never even heard of this NFT space and uplift them and showcase them and put them on from where we come from. That's, what I'm saying? We're gonna put our people on, man. And I think that's a beautiful thing, man. So what was it about when I approached you about this fucking crazy, insane idea? We sat down, I come to you, what I'm saying? You already have art pieces, you already sold a notable art piece. What was it about Noble Promise Studios, or Noble Promise at the time, or working with me, right?
Yeah.
That intrigued you? What was it?
Well, the first thing about it is it wasn't crazy. You feel me? And I don't say that in no manner to lessen its value, because they say crazy things is like fantastic and amazing, because it is amazing. but there's potential in it. You know what I mean? There's value in it. And once again, this is one of the opportunities where it's a me and you thing, and I guess the people will get it later down the road of the timeline, the story. But I've been watching you grind for, I want to say safely, maybe 2 years, if not more. You know what I mean? Because since I knew you from Delhi, you've been grinding. Hot foods, cold foods team. That was just a different type of grind, but I seen it in you. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen you competing with the best of them. I seen on my own eyes. You feel me? Like at that time, and mind you, we talking about 2016, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2016. It's like, bro, it's 2021. You feel me? Like I done seen you grind for 5 years, and then later the relationship started to develop. So that's something you can't front the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't front the grind when I see you, and I've seen different pathways you've been trying to go with the card, with the you know the basketball card.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I see you with the grind with the food. You know, trying to give back to the community. You know what I mean? Recording you on you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you feel me? I've seen your grind and I've seen your efforts. Therefore, when this opportunity came, it's like, word. Whatever you're trying to do, I'm with you. You feel me? Because it took time and you proved yourself to me. You feel me? Because like I said, I don't just work with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you could be the best person at what you do, but if your attitude ain't right, it's like, how can it work? If your work ethic ain't right, how can it work? You know what I'm saying? So you had a lot of characteristics in yourself that I approved of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's the first time I'm hearing this. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
for real.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And it's like, and that's why I said, bro, like, I appreciate you because it's like coming from where we come from, like the game gotta change, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? The
100%.
game gotta change. And it's like, I'm to the point where I'm sick of certain things. You feel me? Like I'm disgusted at certain things. You know what I'm saying? And just something got to change. You know what I mean? A lot got to change. But it's like
Right.
now this like when it comes to changing lives, I got to be a part of it for the better, of course. I got to be a part of it. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't do it for no recognition. I do it because I care. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the difference between people like yourself and people like me. Like just the care factor. When you care, you move different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about the money. It's about changing lives. It's about life, legacy. You feel me?
Life and legacy. Life and legacy.
Life and legacy. That might be a song name.
Life and legacy, changing lives, man. You
Life,
said
baby.
that's powerful, man. I mean, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time, man. I mean, after you said that, I can't even.
You know, we chilling on this side.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I can't even. You know what I mean? That was powerful, man. That was powerful, man. So, real quick before you get out of here, you said you want to put that in a song. Ralph Gilligan. Ralph Gilligan. Ralph Gilligan. Yo, who is that? What is this?
Man,
Speak about that.
this about to be a whole new episode. You feel me? But yeah, artists like I don't. It's tough to explain, but it's pretty simple at the same time. It's one and the same. Me and Ralph is the same, but you know I don't really like talk much. I don't express myself much, but Ralph is like the narrator. Ralph is the person who was going to talk about it. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Ralph is going to tell you about the experiences and, you know, a lot of people just didn't know. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't know.
Yeah, people still don't know. I was just on with my friend and she's like, I seen you kept reposting this, but it's like, I thought you were just supposed to for your friend, like showing him love and
right.
Until somebody tagged you in it. And I was like, wait, hold on.
Hold on is right.
Hey.
I didn't know what was going on. I get in the chat, Ralph Gilligan. I'm like, wait, that sounds familiar. I think that's his Twitter.
Yeah.
I start listening to it and I start hearing you going in. Like I don't mean like, yo, my friend rapping right now. This is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you was spitting bars. you was putting together.
I appreciate that.
You was putting together words like I do ingredients, like you do with colors, as if you were doing this, as if you were a seasoned veteran in the game.
No, I appreciate that. That's
And
giving me goosebumps. Get out of here.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he can rap too. So you're a rapper.
I'm an artist.
An artist at heart.
Yeah.
And you got your hands in so many different things.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Simply, why not?
Because why not? Man, where can they follow you, man? Where can
hold on, because I'm gonna share this quote with you.
Okay.
Like I said, you go through life
and parting words. Go ahead.
You hear quotes and you let me see. Who I got this from? You probably said this to me. I ain't gonna lie, because I heard it this week, and I know I talked to you this week.
Okay.
But somebody said it's a sin to waste God-given talent. Did you tell me that?
I said something like that. Yeah, something along the lines of that.
Okay, it was probably you then.
I was saying that, you know, you not putting yourself out there, me not putting myself out there. Even this production that we're doing right now, it's a sin to God, like you said. It's doing you a disservice because of your talent, because of your passion, because of your love. You don't have to be the person that wants to be out there and talking all out and things like that. But we're trying to change the world. We're trying to impact the world, and we're trying to change lives forever. And we can do that together because we're so much stronger together than we are by ourselves.
Talk about it.
And that's what it's about, man. You know what I mean? Right. That's what it's about, bro. So I mean, I appreciate you, man, for taking the time out, man.
Bro, you know how we rocking.
I mean, it's insane. I appreciate you, man. Where can people follow you? Like what's your Twitter? Like you have a Twitter? Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, Ralph Gilligan is the Twitter. That's the only thing I'm throwing out because I got to get my Twitter game up.
Oh, okay. You don't want nobody else or anything else. You like Twitter?
Nah, just Twitter.
That's it, man. When can we expect more music? We got the collection dropping Q1 of 2022. Yeah. So when can we hear more music? When are you gonna start dropping more Peace and Parmesan? Like, what can people look forward to in the upcoming future? Any parting words? Anything? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I actually got a project coming out this week. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm working. So that's gonna be December 10th. I mean, by the time this probably get cooked up, you know what I mean? It'll probably be out already. But December 10th, and that project is about to be crazy. And I don't ever like to speak like that because I obviously am my own self and I could talk in a bias, but I don't like being biased. But from the production to the lyrics,
you put in the work.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
You put in the work.
Yeah,
you deserve to speak that way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That last project was bait, like because it was more aggressive. It was more catered to what people like to hear. You know what I mean? So that was like really bait. But this next one, because they like the first one, they're gonna grab this second one, and the second one is really gonna be that like, nah, who is Ralph Gilligan?
It's who is this? What is
I
this?
think that's gonna be a bling blah once again.
I'm excited, man. I look forward to it, man. I look forward to us working together, man.
Bro, we're gonna do some things.
We're gonna do so crazy things. I can't wait to look at this video 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Thank you for being the first guest on Sippin with Sakari.
You know that.
You know what I'm saying? Blessings, peace and love.
Hey, peace and love. Yo, I gotta send you soon Noble Promise Studios an alternative logo because we know we got the thing that Kelsey been working on, but this is gonna be like a simple version. You know what I mean? So I'm working on a couple of those where it's just gonna be the end, like just a small logo, not like the big. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for that.
Stay tuned.
When life give you lemons, plant the lemon tree, cause lemonade is limited. Be aware of blessings, pray to God they unlimited. My prayers give me the same feeling you seen on Limitless. Renewal like a membership. Brooklyn with my brothers eating tacos made from venison. Drinking Modelo's with Afro-Latinas that's feminist. Lowy in the cut with the cannon on them like Mega Man. You can't touch me. Niggas try to coach you, touchy like Sandusky. This is a wicked world. Is it them or it's just me? I'm jacking peace, prosperity. Don't care if you judge me. At the Cali swag district, I was doing my Dougie, but it's not enough. I take a flight out the country, I'm gone. There's a time and place for everything. And you know I can't believe in anything. But you don't see, believe in me.
What's going on, YouTube? If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It's never been a better time than now. So come follow along, come see the ups, the downs, the entire process of this thing that we call life. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Love.
Sippin' with Sakari.